Hello, Gemini, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day out there. This will be your weekly reading for the week of February 2nd through the 8th. And during that time, we'll have a waxing crescent, which is a really good time for heightened senses and just getting work done. You're just really alert and aware and ready to go. We will have a first quarter moon, and that happens on the 6th of February. And that can be a day where you might feel a little bit impulsive and impatient and you don't want to buckle down. But then we're back to the waxing gibbous. So and that's also just a really good time to get things done, and just really execute the things that you're working on. So watch out for that first quarter day. That can just be a little bit frustrating when you can't seem to buckle down. All right, this will be an intuitive general reading for the energies that you may or may not encounter this week. So of course, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. Your overall message, Gemini, for this reading: communication is key. All right, let's see what the Gemini Collective has going on this week. While I'm shuffling the tarot cards, I'd like to remind you to keep a spiritual journal. Sometimes we don't recognize the patterns that are evolving in our life when it comes to our spiritual experiences. So, keeping track of things that you learn, synchronicities that you're having, maybe dreams or encounters you're having, it gives you a chance to look back later and kind of see emerging patterns. And that can just be really important and helpful as you're evolving spiritually. So, just my little reminder for the week. Before I start, grab a drink there because I can feel trying to get over that, little winter, January freezing temperature cold thing. Makes the sinuses go crazy. All right, Gemini, February 2nd through the 8th. Communication is key. All right, first card that flew out here for your overall present energy: Ace of Cups. So, the Ace of Cups is about having an open heart, just really coming at the people around you. This could be in a relationship, this could be, with your friends and family. It's just kind of be open and open to communication and open to being real and being who you are and showing that. If you appreciate and love someone, it's really nice to express that. Let people know that you appreciate them and that you care about them. So what a beautiful, beautiful energy here. Your current situation, well, so like we have every week, I feel like there's a star card that comes, not the actual star card, but a star of the readings. This is now the second time I've seen this card and another very similar card in the other reading that I've done. So everybody is kind of wrapping up, I feel like, the collective. There's something going on in the collective that people are just kind of finishing. There's kind of endings and new beginnings happening right now in the energy. So you've got this open heart and there is something that you are putting to bed. There's something that you are done with. And this could be, because this is air energy, this could be a way of communicating. This could be a way of being, maybe, if we're talking about the Ace of Cups here, that, maybe you haven't been the nicest to someone around you, to maybe your partner or, or a friend or, but there's something that you want to change about your way of being. I'm really feeling that. And when you make that change, it's going to be good on the other end. But there's something that you're done doing, and it's kind of in your mind. I mean, it's that's a lot of sword. That's a lot of thoughts, but it's a way of being that you're going to try to just to move on from, to make a self improvement. So, not a bad thing to be doing. At the root of your situation is some sort of decision that you've made. So you've made some decision to, and I get that this is internally. This is a decision to be a different way. What's brought that on, I don't know. But you've kind of had to think about it. You've thought, I want to have this open heart. I want to, to be able to express myself better. And it's come from something. It's come from some thought that you've you've really had to mull this over. Do I really want to be this way? How do I be this way? How do I make this change? And why do I make this change? And kind of thinking of both options. What happens if I don't make this change? Or what happens if I do? So interesting there, Gemini. In your recent past is King of Wands. So, this is someone who really, coming from a place of really understanding the things that you're passionate about, the things that drive you, and that could have led to this decision making. I mean, you know who you are going into this situation. You're trying to make some change, it looks like. You're trying to be done with the way of being, but you're coming into it in a place of confidence that you know who you are, and yeah, I want to make these changes, and it's just going to improve who I am. What's on your mind this week is the Chariot. So yeah, this is getting ready to make a move, getting ready to make a change. This is, and maybe you don't understand all of the elements just yet that go into this. And that's where this Chariot card comes in, is that you're kind of, I call this the packing the minivan card. This is gathering the information to then move forward. So you're gathering things. How do I do this? How do I communicate better? How do I make those changes? But that's where that Chariot card comes in. What is just ahead of you this week is the Four of Cups. So, this could be a little bit of sadness about the changes that you're making. This could be, anytime we make internal change, there's a part of you that you have to let go and say goodbye to. And that can lead to a little bit of, well, I liked being that person, even though even though I need to make this change. I mean, it's kind of a pain in the butt, and but it's a letting go. It's a letting go as we evolve, into who you were and becoming this new version of yourself. So, of course, that can always be a little bit, it's a little sad, you know. In your advice position this week is the Queen of Cups. So, okay, so back to this open cup here, back to this Ace of Cups. So, your advice is to really learn how to be understanding, learn how to be, not just sympathetic, but empathetic, how to be more sensitive. This is kind of that female nurturing energy, being a little more motherly, being able to express emotions, you know, a little more compassionate, maybe a little bit more delicate and gentle, um, maybe if you have a harsh way of dealing with the sword energy, that kind of biting way of saying things, you may tone it down a little bit, So this card is saying to to really just go a little more gently into things. So definitely in your advice position this week, if you're making those kind of changes, then that's a good thing. You can be a little softer. It's fine. What's beyond your control this week is the Queen of Wands. So lots of royalty here showing up in this reading. Beyond your control is, if the kings are knowledge of a particular thing, and in this case passion, the things that drive you, the things that, and everything about the thing. Let's say that there's something that you're just super passionate about. You've learned everything about it, the reason you're passionate about it, all the ifs and whys or buts. This Queen is the more gentle side. It's not just the knowledge, but it's the understanding of passion. It's the understanding of how to express that. And this is a card, again, it's of nurturing. This is the more motherly element of that. That's the more feminine energy of it. It's the elegant strength and of knowing, who you are and what you really really believe in, what really lights a fire under you. So that's beyond your control this week, is to kind of tone it down a little bit, tone it down a notch. Secret desire, what you're trying to avoid. This is kind of this feeling of satisfaction, and this can also be a card of indulgence, and it can be a card of self-indulgence. So are you trying to avoid that self-indulgence, or is it your secret desire? You kind of patting yourself on the back that you've made this evolutionary change that you're going to do. And kind of, again, this is only in this position of this card can you say if it's a secret desire or if you're trying to avoid, but are you maybe you're not quite there yet. Maybe let's make those changes, and let's make those changes permanent. You're kind of in the chariot phase here. You're gathering information. So, before we get to, the words kind of sanctimonious or self-satisfied, let's learn the things and let's start implementing those first. In your outcome position is the Ace of Wands. So a lot of passion in here and a new way to be passionate. This is two aces. These are beginnings. And our Ace of Wands is it's just a yes to the thing that you're thinking about. So these changes that you're undergoing right now, it's just that card says you're definitely on the right track. Let go of being the old way, gather the information, and maybe it is about communication. It's just about communicating in a softer, more gentle way, in a more nurturing, and again, it's that female energy of just not being so harsh and so cutting with your words, but a little more gentle. What's being hidden from you this week is feeling like you against the world. So maybe this is about teamwork. You're not having that feeling of feeling like, oh, here I am out here doing the thing. No support, whatever. I think you have that support this week. I don't, it's hidden from you, that feeling. If, you felt like that in the past, it's just hidden from you this week. And that's okay while you work through this and while you wrap up being this way. Again, tens are endings, but they're also new beginnings. All right. Gemini, final message here from the Soul Oracle deck for Gemini, February 2nd through the 8th. Final message is nurture yourself first. All right, not bad advice. As you're gathering this information, and maybe that is it. Maybe it's just learning how to take care of you so that you can then take care of others. I mean, that's a very that is feminine energy, and it's something that I know just in general women we tend to not do, and it's really good advice. So take care of yourself first. If you're making some sort of change here and you're trying to have a more open heart and be more open about the things that you're passionate about, certainly take care of yourself first. And what do they say? It's like the oxygen mask on an airplane, that um, you need to be breathing well first before you can take care of everyone around you. So really good advice, I think, on that. Gemini, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate your time. And I hope there was something in this reading that you can take away and use. Of course, if you're comfortable, you can leave me a comment down below. I love to get that kind of feedback, to hear what you're going through out there. Also, I do post weekly readings, so come back next week and we'll see if this situation evolves or if something totally new comes up for you next week. Also, if you enjoy my reading style, please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel. And of course, I would really appreciate that so, so much. So thank you so much, Gemini, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye.